back to another episode of the Pick Me podcast, where we crowd surf the mosh pit and get pushed up onto the stage, grab the microphone and sing along with the stars of the show. Today, we have the amazing actress extraordinaire, Madeline Harper, along with us. Welcome, Maddie.
Hello, it's so good to be here. Thank you.
It's really good to see you again. How's things been going? Let us know what you've been up to.
Oh, it's been going good. At the start of this year, I ended up being pulled into a short film last minute. Due to COVID, the lead actress had to step out. So they hunted me down, cast me, and then I was on. So I had like 2 days to learn all the lines, and then I shot that week, and then I was done. I've started uni. I'm doing a dual degree in social science, psychology, and counselling. It's been very interesting. I don't like organizational psychology particularly. But again, there's always going to be fields in the job that you won't like. But I know there's a lot of money in that area, so I should probably learn to like it.
You're chasing the dollars. Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, chasing the dollars.
Fill us in on your journey forming into the actress that you are now.
So I started dancing at 3, and I continued just dancing until I was 12. And when I got to 12, I thought, well, I've got a couple options here. If I want to be just a prima ballerina, I have to stop all other styles of dancing that I'm doing and just do ballet and dedicate my whole life to it.
Right.
I didn't particularly like ballet. I found that in terms of dancing, I always loved the performance aspect of it. I loved getting on stage. I loved pouring my heart out and just vibing. You know, it's a super informal way to put it, but just vibing. Cool. And I discovered musical theatre, and I was like, whoa, I already sing, I already dance, but then you can act and do that all at the same time. That's fascinating. Yeah, cool. So I've been doing that for years, and it was only until 2020 that I started considering maybe I should try film.
Right. Okay. So making the transition from dancing to the stage, was it through school or anything like that? Or you sort of just got up onto your own feet and went out there to try and find an avenue to get into?
Well, my school never did need musicals when I was there, which is a real shame because I would have definitely dominated, I think.
Haha.
And that's coming from like the only theatre kid in the school at all. Yeah. But I found venues outside of school where I could go and do classes, and then I did a lot of community theatre, which if you ever want to get into acting, community theatre is such a great way to start because it's just, there's way less pressure on you and it's fun. It's so much fun, and you meet some of the most amazing people.
Yeah, that's really good advice. And yeah, of course, you get to network, and so you're saying that you can make mistakes and it's not it's not as harsh as it might be on a movie set or a live
it's
TV.
A little bit more forgiving.
More forgiving, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So a conscious decision to head into the film sort of side of it, or you had some people around you that were pushing you in that direction? Tell us about that.
So one of my good friends, who's still one of my best friends today, Eleanor List, we were catching up for lunch, and she said, have you ever considered doing film? And I said, oh, not really. And she said, well, I'm doing a short film on the weekend and I was going to play the lead, but I kind of want you to do it. Can you just come along to Fortitude Valley at 10 p.m. at night on the weekend and come and film a mugging scene in an alleyway? And I said, oh, okay, cool. I did that and I really enjoyed it. So it's because of her that I'm doing film now.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. So that's sort of your background leading up until now. But let's get on to what we're here for. And that's the hilariously funny Pick Me short film, which you played the role of Charlene, an amazing character. So yeah, let us know what that experience was like.
Oh, it was so much fun. It was really interesting coming into a role that when I was auditioning, you weren't casting that particular character. Like it had already been set aside. And getting cast in a role that I knew essentially little to nothing about, other than she's crazy, which was what I was told at the audition. And then getting a copy of the script and getting to go through it and go, okay, cool. What's her motivator? And it's love. Love is a great motivator. It's been really good fun.
She's quite a softie at heart behind that external craziness of hers.
Yeah. She doesn't know how to express how she feels other than like screaming it out loud.
Oh, it just makes me laugh just thinking about it.
One for subtlety, is she?
It's epic. So look, perhaps to fill the audience in that are not quite so aware, the origin of this Charlene character came up when we were having some brainstorming sessions, some workshops, and one of the writing team said, I think we should have a McLovin type character. McLovin from the Superbad movie that we all love. And so I thought, what if it was a female McLovin character? And then, of course, with our own twist onto it. So I actually worked really closely with you on the character. I had a different vision of Charlene. I had a very traditional nerd with the big glasses, the rosy cheeks, the messed up hair, just the real dorky body language and all that sort of thing. And you were like, no way, to hell with that. Forget the glasses and the rosy cheeks. I'm going to play the hell out of this role just with my acting skills. And I was a little bit unsure right at the very beginning, and I could see your confidence in the direction you were heading. So I was willing to put my full trust into you. And we only had a short amount of time, and we went back and forth only a little bit. The end result of the Charlene character is just incredible, and I love the way that you took it on. Let everybody know what your mental process was of getting inside this character.
So I would say that my process was when I approach a character, I always read the entire script and I try to piece all the information that I can get from that character and put it together. So from the script, I could gather that Charlene is fascinated with science. She loves science. Also, she was really madly in love with Questa. And based on her behavior, her approach was essentially, I'm going to be really forward and he just has to know that I love him. He can't not know by now. And when approaching that, especially on set, you're always going to get self-conscious. You're always going to get nervous because you have to put yourself out there in a really vulnerable spot. I find that just looking at that situation and going, to hell with it, let's have fun. It's so much more rewarding. And if you just let go and if you completely give in to the craziness of it all and allow yourself to even go too far, you're going to have the best time and you're going to get some really interesting results. And you're going to find parts of yourself that you didn't know that you had before.
Okay, well, that's amazing because that brings me directly to my next point. And so working with you all through even from the audition process through shooting and pre-production, I found that you had this unfaltering confidence, and it was really what coerced me to sort of let my guard down and, let you take the reins of this character somewhat. So, yeah, I would like to know if this was like an external sort of thing that you were putting up front or whether it's just generally how you roll, because you did have to do some pretty crazy things in front of a large group of strangers and like multiple times as well. Like we did a few different takes of all these things. So, yeah, I'll be fascinated to know, how this is coming out of Madeleine.
I guess it helps that I've been acting for a while. I think if you're coming into a project like this and it's your first job ever, it's going to be really hard. I was very fortunate to already have a couple years of experience of stage acting. And when you're on stage and you're performing in front of a crowd, you get to feed off of their energy that they're giving you. When I came onto set, I thought, I have to give this my all. It's a really big character. It's a comedic role. And I think there's no room to be shy. There's no room to say, is this okay? Am I do you want me to try it like this? It's
Awesome.
being brave to try every single option.
Okay, so really, I think what you're getting to there is just letting your guard down and just diving straight in the deep end. Especially that's exactly what I saw in you. The fact that you just had this get up and go, and were willing to do those things. It made me want to push that further as well. So
it's always better to be told to pull back rather than, hey, can you keep giving more? Can you come on more, please? So much better to go, great. That's enough. Turn it back just a little bit.
Epic.
So much better.
And I definitely can say that that's genuine coming from you, because even from your audition, you already had that there. I was looking back through the tapes, and there's some amazing performance. I might show some tiny little clips of it.
Oh, stop it! You know what I'm talking.
Turn around and walk that way.
Okie dokie. So that's sort of your background leading up until now, and you've had a couple of big projects recently that you probably can't tell us about because of all those things.
I think I'm allowed to talk about one of them now.
Oh, how exciting. Let us know.
Because it's coming out today. Young Rock Season 2 has officially come out today. I think it's on Binge and Foxtel or something like that. And I got to be in an episode. It was really fun.
Wow.
I'm not going to give it away, but I got to be in an episode and I got to speak. Ooh.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I'm kind of reeling from that high still. I think when I get the footage and when I watch it, I'm going to have a moment again.
Good for you. That's really great news.
Thank you.
And look, I think the world should look out because honestly, I keep going back to how it was inspiring working with you, and you did trigger a lot of the decisions that were made about your character. But I also found that you were extremely professional. You had that sort of first to get there and last to leave type thing, which is so awesome in this industry. It just shows your keenness and just really your just general passion for the whole thing. It just really stood out, above everyone else in the project. So I think you better be careful what you wish for, because you've got all the right ingredients. And I think the more that people see you out there in this sort of thing, I think your potential is unlimited. So look out, world. Madeline Harper is coming to get all of you. So anyway, we've already got a couple of fans out there in the Pick Me world. We've got a couple of questions from our Discord group.
All right.
So let's have a look here. Danny Kong, he asks, have you had to do a kissing scene? And if not, I could help you practice if you want. Well, there you go.
Oh, my God.
Danny Kong, that is highly inappropriate.
Wow, Danny. I'm glad you're over the age of 18 because I turned 20 in April. So
well, I know,
put that out there.
With a name like Danny Kong, who knows? But we'll track this guy down. And I admire he's getting straight to the point. So
I love the confidence.
But it's actually, there you go. You can't knock that. But it's actually a pretty good question.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually going to have my very first stage kiss soon. I think when approaching scenes like that, I just have to be able to trust my partner and know that this is happening because it's in the script. I did Into the Woods earlier this year. I closed that show recently and I played Little Red Riding Hood. So when I was approaching that scene and I was doing the choreography and I had to be groped, touched, kind of felt up. And before we even choreographed that scene, we sat down and we spoke to each other and the choreographer and we said, this is what we're comfortable with and nothing else outside of that are we allowed to do. Okay. We had to open up and trust each other and know that if at any point in the process I would get uncomfortable or the person playing the wolf would get uncomfortable, we would step back and go, okay, how can we fix this? Yeah. What can we do to make this more comfortable?
You pulled out the safe word.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an amazing insight into that, because even, I mean, not even as full on as a kiss. Sometimes you're just looking somebody straight in the eye for like quite an amount of time, and those awkward silences and things like that. So I guess it's a skill that you have to adapt and learn to as being an actor.
So much of it is being vulnerable. So much of the job is just letting go and being vulnerable. And you have to accept that you're in a spot where you're out of your comfort zone, but you're surrounded by people who trust you and you trust them.
Yeah.
If you're in a positive environment, it's so easy. And you barely even notice that you're outside your comfort zone.
Cool. Well, if you ever need any help, Danny Kong,
I'll contact Danny.
he's out there to help you. So, okay, the next question is from Tina Ramona. What's your method for preparing for a role?
Oh, that's good. I mentioned this earlier, but when I get a copy of the script, I go through the whole thing. I find every little bit of information I can find about that character, and I kind of put it all together and go, okay, what type of person do I have right now? And I like to always try and map out that person's journey in the show. And Charlene, for example, she doesn't have much of a journey in the way of like personal growth, but I would say that she gets much more bold with her love confessions by the time it gets to the band. She grows further in confidence, although I didn't think it was possible. Yeah, finding all of the clues about a character and then mapping out their journey is really helpful for me.
Okay. So it's more of you're like an eagle in the sky looking down on the whole situation rather than getting right down underneath it all. And I think that's a really interesting way to look at it. And I think that's why we worked so well together on this character, Charlene, is because you were seeing those.
Yeah, I don't like getting tunnel vision with roles. I like trying to see all the possible options. It's super helpful.
Okay, that's cool. All righty, one more question here. NeoGeo94 says, have you ever suffered from stage fright?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I have. I like to think that instead of getting nervous, I get excited because it's the same feeling. It's the same, like your brain's doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But I always get self-conscious. I always get nervous before I go on set for the first day, or I'm waiting in the wings and the audience is out there waiting for the show. I'm always thinking, will they like me? Will they like what I'm doing? Am I enough? I don't want to make a mistake. What if I forget a line? What if? And it's very stressful. It's horrible. Stage fright is awful. But I think if you can channel that into, I'm really excited about this show. People are here to see me. People are here to see the production. And I'm surrounded by people I trust. We're here to do a job, and I found that over the years, I've been able to kind of relax myself more and find ways that I can calm down. But I still get stage fright all the time.
So for you, it's more the anticipation of the show rather than when you're actually out there.
Yeah. I try to lose myself completely in the character, so there's no room to get nervous.
Yeah, I think that's kind of normal-ish. People tend to overthink stuff when they've got the time to think.
I'm a big overthinker.
But being actually stuck on stage and like not knowing your lines and like just totally losing the plot, that would be pretty horrible, I imagine.
Yeah, that's really scary.
And from your advice, you want to get that all out of the way at your community theatre, so you're an ace that when you get on a film set.
Yeah, and even then, you learn to improvise. So if your partner forgets a line, you can just cover it, and no one's going to know that you made a mistake.
Cool.
The only person who's going to know is the people with the script.
Yeah, cool. All righty. Well, I think we'll wind it up here, Maddie. And I want to say to the audience out there, and I've already said it a few times, that working with you, you were just so inspiring and extremely professional. And like I said, your it just wore off on your passion, just wore off to everybody on the set. And I really think if you keep doing what you're doing, then you're going to become a household name out there and everybody's going to know who Madeleine Harper is. So just keep doing your thing. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All righty, cool. We out. Keep on rocking.
Keep on rocking.
I gotta get home to feed Bubbles.